I've already done a 2026-2027 curriculum pick video, but I've changed my mind on some of the things I was going to do. I made that video well before my son actually got out of school for the summer. Since then, through more research and just being a person that gets FOMO, fear of missing out, I've changed some things up. And guess what? It's okay. None of the stuff that I bought and changed my mind about will go to waste. I will resell or donate it to someone else who can use it. And that's fine. And excuse me if I'm looking this way, I have to check some notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything because I'll start talking really fast and forget what I'm trying to say. So I want to preface my curriculum pick by saying it all depends on your style of teaching and your child's style of learning, the curriculum that you're going to think is the best fit for your family, as I've mentioned in a previous video. For me, I really prefer a more gentle, I'm going to call it Charlotte Mason-ish style of teaching and learning. Why? Well, I've just noticed with my son that he learns better through things that are taught in not such a rigorous manner. He learns through beautiful books, real life experience, and less through here's the hard facts, memorize them all, let's test on them all, drill it in, drill it in, drill it in. And honestly, through working with my child, I've really realized that my very rigorous 8th through 12th grade private school, I don't remember a lot from it. And it was a very rigorous curriculum that we went through. So the good thing about homeschooling is that I can tailor what I teach to how he learns, and I love that. So I have noticed with the company I got most of my curriculum through, it's really a love or hate curriculum for many people. I don't see a lot of people in the middle ground of it, and that's okay. We love it. We're going to use it. My son loves it, and I have just seen this love of learning come back to him over the summer as we did our soft launch. So I think I'm leaning in the right direction. So for 2026, 2027, first thing I want to show you something from me, this planner. It's a simple plan for the homeschooling family. I love this planner. Now, I originally started out with the well-ordered day or well-ordered homeschool. And while it was beautiful, and I think it is perfect for a type A mom, you would love it. You would love it if you're very type A and hyper organized and need every aspect of your life down to a schedule. But this one for me is better. It still has a lot of things to fill out and do, but I understand this one better. And you know what makes me understand it more? They literally have example pages filled out for you, because with the other one I was really overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, what should I write here? Like what should I put in? This is all, I love an example. I'm a learn by seeing type of person, not a learn by you telling me. Like I need to see it. So cannot recommend this enough. Even if you are type B, type C mom, I make myself fill this out and it is so very helpful. Next, so originally I was starting my son on level 4 for everything. After getting back his Iowa State testing from his private school and going further into the assessment on the Good and the Beautiful's website, I decided to drop him back to level 3 work because that's really where he was placing in that curriculum. We are going to use this year as a year to fill in gaps, things that I feel like he lost over the last year at his previous school due to the teacher that he had, I really feel like, but I'm not going to go into depth on that. So bear in mind, yes, he's in the 4th grade, but some of the stuff is level 3. And guess what? That's okay. So let's start with Bible. Now with Bible, I have made a couple of changes And I'm still not absolutely in love with my pick because through our soft launch, we've been working through this, and he actually says he enjoys it. I don't enjoy it. I think it takes longer than I want it to take for our little morning time together. So we go through the Not Consumed. We're on the Miracles book, and we read in the Adventure Bible, and we say a little prayer before we get started with our day. I'm still looking to change that, but I'm just not sure what yet. I got a couple of things from my local homeschool store this past week that I think I'm going to implement instead of that every day, kind of like alternate them. We'll see. For language arts, we are going with The Good and the Beautiful, Level 3. This is our course book, and we're going to do the Level 3 handwriting along with typing for The Good and the Beautiful. And we have the readers that came with this level as well. So that's what we'll be reading our way through. I've looked through that book and I'm really impressed. I'm excited about it. And one thing I learned over our summer soft launch is that my son does not adore math, but he really likes language arts. So I think we're going to have fun with that. Next up on our list is math. We are going to do Math 3. Also from The Good and the Beautiful, because I am a diehard The Good and the Beautiful fan right now. And my son loves it too. And lessons are not a struggle to get through because he enjoys them. So I know that this program may not work for everyone, but it has been a blessing on our homeschool journey because my son really enjoys it. And for me, that's good. That makes me happy. Next, our history and geography. We're going to be doing Knot Grasses, Our Star-Spangled Story, and Our 50 States. With history, geography, and science, I'm going to do them on a loop schedule this week. I'm going to try to combine these two things on the same day, and then science on its own day, and do 2 days a week of this and 2 days a week of my science. For science, once again, we're going with The Good and the Beautiful. And the topics, he picked 3 of them, I picked 1. So reptiles and amphibians, mammals, paleontology, and I chose health and the physical body because my son is starting to have certain questions that I need to figure out the best way to answer in an age-appropriate way, and I thought it would be a good way to tie it in by using the health and the physical body book. But also, I went and got, oh my gosh, I'm also going to do By Gather Round, Growing Up with God for boys. Now, I chose to go with level 1 because, once again, my son just turned 9 years old, and there's certain conversations I'm just not ready to have to the full extent. This is done in a very tasteful way that is not overly descriptive. Okay? Because I'm not comfortable going there just yet. Every kid is different. Every kid will mature at different rates. And if I say my son's not quite ready, it's not quite ready. So this is what we're going to do. More toward the end of the 4th grade. Also, we're going to do a unit study from Gather Round of Kentucky. It is where my husband's family is from, and we're taking a trip there. We've been there once last summer. My husband goes at least once or twice a year, but this year, since we're homeschooling, my son and I can make the trip with him. And I just thought that would be a fun unit study, and then we can go visit some places while we're there that will kind of bring the whole Kentucky study to life for him. And also, I got this little book about Kentucky from consignment store, so I'm going to tie that in with it. I also plan to do, I'm thinking I'm going to have so much time, and I may not end up having enough time to do this, but I'm going to try to fit this in. A unit study. Actually, I have a couple planned, but they may not all work out for this grade, and that's okay. So for our winter unit study, I'm going to do The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I got this unit study from the Love at Home Education. I also had planned to do A Wrinkle in Time and The Cricket in Times Square. But over our summer learning adventure, I have learned that my child does much better with shorter form books, even though he is 9 years old and technically we do read chapter books. He doesn't retain them as well as shorter books. So, to that, we started 5 in a row. And it has been my favorite addition to our homeschool journey thus far. He loves this. I love this. If you're not familiar with it, you have a selection of beautiful, small literature to read to your child, and there is a plethora of activities that cover lots of different subjects that you can do at the end of the reading of each book. You're technically supposed to read the book 5 days in a row. We kind of do what we have to do to make it fit for us, so we might read it 2 or 3 times and just pick a few of the activities. But it's something that's fun and we've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to continue with that too. Also, I feel like this seems like so much. So with his Iowa State testing, his lowest score was in written expression. So even though we are doing the good and the beautiful, once or twice a week, we're also going to do Essentials in Writing Level 3. And I know that may seem course heavy and like a lot, but he enjoys this. It's not going to be something that absolutely has to be done, like I said, every day, but he likes this. He thinks this is fun. So we will do this sometimes when needed. Or, because we're going to homeschool year round, the Good and the Beautiful only has 120 lessons. Once we complete that, or if we want to stretch it out a little bit more and do this in between, that's okay. That's what we're going to do. I also bought a couple of electives for us to try out. I'm not going to go over all those right now, but things to fill in time when he's bored or is just burnt out on doing plain old schoolwork. We're going to do fun things. Every Friday, we'll take field trips. I'm going to try to coincide our field trips to things that fit what we're studying, but if it doesn't, he's still going to learn something. Like, we really want to go to the bird park that is about probably 2 hours from us. And while we're not technically studying birds this year, he will learn something there and he will love it and it will be beautiful. We're going to go to a Lego convention. My son loves Legos. And in my mind, I'm fostering that he could possibly one day be some type of engineer. Like, anything he shows interest in, we're going to lean into it. And I see it as something new to learn. So don't overthink it. Your field trips, they don't have to tie in with every lesson you teach. Some of them can just be fun. And while I do have a lot of things here, once again, I'm not going to be rigorously pounding these topics into his head. I'm going to take a more gentle approach, a more fun style of learning. Now, mind you, yes, we will still have to get in our core and basics, but if one lesson takes us more than a day, so be it. I do not want my son to hate school. I do not want him to hate learning. I want to foster a love of learning. I want him to love reading. I really, we hear about a literacy crisis now, and it won't be over here that we are having one because we love books. I wish you guys all the best in your 2026-2027 homeschooling year. And as things change, if I have to change them, we'll shift. And it is what it is. Also, I have a buying problem. I've spent a lot of money already toward the next grade, and I might change my mind. But once again, FOMO. Fear of missing out. And when I have a big interest in something, which happens to be the good and the beautiful right now, I'm probably going to buy everything that they have. Also, one little tidbit extra. Over the summer, to work on his writing, we started working in this creative writing notebook. He loves it. Every day he's like, do we have the sentences to do that today? Are we going to do the sentences? So I think that's a win. The best thing I could have done is do our summer soft launch because it really showed me a lot about my son and how he learns. And we made big adjustments because of that. I had started out with math first thing in the morning because I thought, well, this is the harder subject. This is the subject I like the least. Let's just get it done. That ruined his day. When we would start with math and go to everything else, he was already like downtrodden and in a bad mood. So I've learned now that we're going to put it more in the middle of our day. Start with something he loves, put in the math, and with something he loves. And that's how we're going to do it. And it's going to be beautiful. And I'm super excited for this journey. And once again, I'm new to homeschooling. I'm not a professional. I have studied about it and looked into it and researched and just really poured myself into this hardcore. So I feel prepared for this journey, but there's still so much for me to learn. If you are also new to homeschooling and have any questions or want to be friends, want somebody to connect with, reach out. I wish you all the best. Bye, guys.